Welcome to the season opener for the 2020 South African Cross Country Series, the Mpumalanga 400, hosted by Mpumalanga Toyota. As has been the case in Dahlstrom in the past, this was a wet and muddy but very exciting race. All the adrenaline and slip-sliding action of the race is brought to you by Toyota, Ford, Total Quartz and Pirelli. The picturesque town of Dahlstrom in Mpumalanga is known for its quaint shops, trout fishing and changeable weather. And on the weekend of the 28th and 29th of February, the town was once again set abuzz by the arrival of the South African Cross Country Series for the start of the 2020 season. This was the third running of the Mpumalanga 400 with support from Mpumalanga Toyota, and the event again promised plenty of thrills. The weather in Dahlstrom, however, remains a lottery, and this year the SACCS was blessed with plenty of rain, mist and cold temperatures. The DSP was packed with new cars, new crew pairings and new hopes for the upcoming season. We caught up with some of the key players. The man with the biggest target on his back, especially considering that no fewer than 14 Class FIA monsters would line up for the start in Dahlstrom, was defending champion Henk Ladegan.
I think the nerves are coming more from being out of the seat for a little while since last season, so I'm really keen and excited to get back into the car and get the race going.
His biggest competition was sure to come from Toyota Gazoo Racing teammate and former champion Janelle de Villiers, now with Dakar navigator Alex Harrow beside him in the car.
Well, the plan is for him to do the whole season, and we get acquainted to each other a little bit more, so it'll be interesting for him to see the South African countryside for sure.
2019 Class T champion Lance Woolridge made the move to Class FIA for 2020 and also had a new navigator.
We haven't done any racing together, so I think we'll need to bed in a bit with each other. But Alvin's very professional, and she's got some championships behind her, so they speak for themselves. So yeah, I'm excited.
With the Class T champion having jumped to Class FIA for 2020, the door is open for a new crew to take the top spot. One man with designs on exactly that was former champion Johan Horn.
But yeah, well, the car is good. We tested this morning, so hopefully everything goes well.
But the man from Mpumalanga was unlikely to have it all his own way, as Gary Berthold also had his eyes on the same prize and now found himself driving a Total Exilium-sponsored Toyota Hilux.
Really exciting here with Total Exilium backing us, giving this team the gas that it needs. I think the Total Exilium Fuels made the right decision in supporting the two good cars, one in Class T, one in FIA.
There was a similar situation in the special vehicle category, as defending champion Lance Trathui missed the Mpumalanga 400 due to business duties. So with the big man out of the equation, one crew who hoped to make the most of the opportunity was that of Sandra and Jaco Jonk.
We're really excited, and we're so fortunate to have an amazing brand behind us again, Total Agri, sponsoring us again for a second year.
So those were just some of the stories leading up to the start of the 2020 season. In the meantime, the weather had closed in over the highest town in southern Africa, just as the crews prepared for the start of the race. There were, however, some final formalities to take care of before the ceremonial flag drop, namely the distribution of shoes to local school children from the area, sponsored by SACCS and some of its partners. With that done, and a final few words from the local government, the wait for the start of the 2020 season was finally over. It was go time in Dahlstrom. The qualifying race was contested over a section of the route and comprised 64 kilometers of varied terrain. The crews in Class G were at the mercy of the weather, as their side-by-sides offered no protection against the elements, and they bore the brunt of the inclement conditions. In the end, defending champions Werner and Leon Mostert in their Elf Renault-supported Can-Am Maverick set the third fastest time on the day. Just 4 seconds separated them from Dean Bradbury and Timmy Burtis in second place, who in turn lagged just 37 seconds behind the Class G winners of the qualifying race, that of Nico Durant and Deirdre Hutting. Much the same can be said for the souls who took to the route in the specials. The ever-cheerful Sandra Jonk and husband Jaco posted the third fastest time over the qualifying race in their Total Agri Porter, after suffering a 5-minute penalty for missing their start slot due to problems with a fuel pump. This left them way down on the crew in second place, namely Clint Gibson and Alaric Smith in their striker. Gibson and Smith, in turn, were the best part of a minute down on the pace set by John Thompson and Maurice Matten in their Zarco Challenger, who went on to post the fastest time for the specials.
Forest is tight. It's very tight. Good for the 4x4s. For us, it's a bit hairy, but otherwise it's good. Everybody's happy. I'm happy with the team.
In the tin tops, the Class T honours went to Johan and Werner Horn in their Class T Toyota Hilux. Fitting, since they are also the sponsor of this round of the championship. The pair posted a time of 55 minutes and 19 seconds to seal the deal and the top spot. As for the other Toyota crews, Gary Berthold and stand-in navigator Siegfried Rousseau were the best of the rest, going third fastest, just 1 minute and 35 seconds behind the winners. And so on to the big boys in Class FIA of the series. With 14 cars on the Mpumalanga 400 grid, this class has grown considerably, and the competition was fierce. In the end, however, the qualifying race for round 1 was an all-Toyota affair, with Chris Visser and Donnie Stassen going third fastest in their Total Exilium Hilux. The pair finished just 1 minute 16 seconds behind the winners, setting them up perfectly for the main event. Second place in quali went to Janelle de Villiers and Alex Harrow in their Toyota Gazoo Racing SA Hilux, with just 29 seconds separating them from the top spot, which went to teammates and defending champions Henk Ladegan and Brett Cummings in an identical car. Their time of 53 minutes and 11 seconds meant they'd be opening up the route for the main event. A prospect that didn't seem to bother young Ladegan.
Yeah, it turns out the time was quite good. It didn't feel like that in the stage, to be honest. It was quite tricky to find the road in some places, long grass.
Here's a quick look at those results again. Class FIA saw Ladegan and Cummings pip teammates de Villiers and Harrow to the post, with Visser and Stassen bagging third place. The win in Class T went to the Horn brothers, with the Cox in second and Berthold and Rousseau rounding out the qualifying podium. The first special home was the Zarco of Thompson and Zamatten, with Gibson and Smith in second, and the wife and husband pairing of Sandra and Jaco Jonk in third. Durant and Hatting were the fastest of the Gs, with Bradbury and Burtis going second fastest, and the Mosterts pegging third place in a rather wet qualifying race. And with that, day 1 of the 2020 SACCS drew to a close, setting us up beautifully for the main event of the Mpumalanga 400 in Dahlstrom. Join us again after this break.